as from my place of high service, I offer this message to you. It's relating to the Lion's Gateway energy that we are all still immersed in and will be until its climax on the 21st of August, when we have that final eclipse and it all comes to a crescendo. But the angels remind us that really the Lion's Gateway, the Lyran energies combined with the Sirius energies that we've been experiencing, these eclipses, this eclipse season, really doesn't fully come to completion until the 2nd of September 2017. So that's good to know, because I'm sure you've been feeling the chaotic energies at present. I know I certainly have. And as always, my spidey senses, my psyche senses have picked up a lot of things a month ago that have come to pass in a lot more real terms than I even expected. So at this stage, I expect a shock with these eclipse seasons. I usually get some kind of surprise. Sometimes it's a beautiful, wonderful, exciting, positive surprise. And other times, not so much. It's radical change that my ego finds inconvenient. Yeah, and that's kind of what's happened. And I met a friend, a lovely, sweet soul. Last night we went for a gorgeous walk up the cliffs by the sea. It was a magnificent night. The sky was like lit up pink and blue and peach. It was gorgeous. And I was telling her about my recent experiences. Sorry, my throat's a bit dry, a bit rough this morning. I'm just out of bed. So she was kind of laughing, saying, well, you know, you did say in your last video that you felt that there was going to be, the eclipses were going to affect areas of work and career and, you know, those foundational areas of home and, you know, work, income, that kind of thing. And I said, yeah, I sometimes forget that the little hints and nudges that I get from my angels, that spirit shares with me, you know, I'm very good at picking up on energy. Oh dear, my throat. I'm very good at picking up on energy before things actually manifest, before they flesh out. And she was laughing because, you know, we were both saying sometimes I forget that those predictions, if you want to call them that, apply to myself as well. They also apply to me. So yeah, let's just tune in now to your angels. And know that by law of attraction, by law of resonance, if you are watching this video, it applies to you. There's a message in here for you. First of all, your angels want you to know that any irritation, any frustration, a common thread or theme of anger and exhaustion has been rife with this eclipse season. So know that you're not alone, that it is very much a part of the clearing out that these eclipses have been bringing. And you may have noted as well that the anger is in relation to something that is from the past, something that reared its ugly head again and just needed to be uprooted for the final time. And you may find that comes to a climax on the 21st or on or around. Remember, it doesn't mean that everything happens exactly on that day. It just means that that's the marker for the time period that these concepts, these old programs, can be reevaluated and reviewed. You are guided to tie up your loose ends at this time. So if there's been some things you've been putting off doing, if there's been someone you've been putting off calling or visiting, or some action that you just shirked off, just been avoiding, don't want to have to face it. The eclipses don't allow us to run away any longer. They are they're intense teachings, and they do give us a bit of a route up the bum to get off our backsides and actually do the inner work and the outer work sometimes. Meaning we have to pick up the phone and make that call, or actually go and physically visit that person, or even more so with, especially with lunar eclipses, it's more about the inner, the internal emotional world, the emotional bodies that come up. So it might be just to sit with yourself and actually explore those deep, deep emotions that your ego just was like, oh, it's so inconvenient to go there now. It's just inconvenient for me to sit with that and cry and get messy and feel those untidy, messy, complicated emotions. Well, the eclipses are here to keep us on track and to remind us that that is part of life. Messiness, the bloodiness and boniness of it all is what we're here to do. The ego gets so comfortable in its routines and its duties and its sense of responsibility to the self and to others that we lose track of the bigger picture. We lose track of what it's all about. You know, the attachment to the routine, that's really what the angels want us to explore right now. And if there's any way for you, or, you know, not even if there's any way, it's all about choice. We have choices. We get to choose how we spend our time. Some people might want to argue with that, but the truth is we do get to choose how we spend our time. We get to choose where we go in to work, to exchange our valuable essence and energy. We get to choose who we're in relationship with. We get to choose the people that we spend our free time with, how we treat ourselves, how we let others treat us. This is all choice. And you're being reminded at this time that you get to choose time and time again. Every moment is a choice of how you expend, how you receive your energy. So in relation to the routine, you're being asked to make a choice to do something, especially this weekend now coming up, because we have on the 21st, which is fast approaching, we have the time now to really get into alignment with this valuable crescendo of this eclipse season. The angels also said that this Lion's Gate, the Lyran energy that has been flooding in its frequencies to the Gaia, has never been fully opened properly. It's never been fully activated to the level that it has this year. And the most exciting celebration in spirit, what they celebrated in my year, was that the earth has never reached a point of light like it has at this time. So in our fifth dimensional world now, we've reached critical mass. We've actually reached a point where there's more light, there's more awakened souls, more ascended consciousness on the earth plane now than ever, ever, ever before. Like, there was such, on the 7th, I received this message, and there was such an excitement in spirit about the fact that humans, there's never been so many humans awake and ascending and really embodying the fifth dimensional principles than there is now. And that's the most important thing. And we should mark that. We should celebrate that. That should be embraced and integrated and anchored deep, deep in the personal self, in your own chakra system, in your aura, and then overflowed and extended out into mass consciousness, into the rest of the world and indeed the cosmos. And be aware that we are being observed by other galactic cosmic energies and species, especially the Lyran energies, the Lyran people, the Feline people, and indeed the Sirius A, Sirius B energies. And many, many people here have connections with Sirius. In fact, I would find the majority of the people I encounter, especially in my clients and my work, like, most humans have Sirius, planet Sirius lineage. I myself would have Arcturian and Lyrian lineage, but most people I meet do have Sirius connections. So if you feel you have that, or you want to learn more about that, there's so much information out there. There's some really, really good information. Just be discerning. Trust your gut. It's all about the feeling. If it feels true for you, if it feels right for you, then it is true for you. Trust the law of resonance. What you resonate, what you feel drawn to, what feels good in your gut. Your gut is your most important brain. And scientists have finally caught up with what many of us healers have known for a long, long time, that the gut is the same material as your brain. It's actually, they call it the second brain, but I call it your first brain, because it's a far more better reader of energy than your mental, physical brain. In fact, the physical brain doesn't read energy at all. It just computes information. So always trust the gut. It's very important. The stomach area, the solar plexus. So we have this wonderful news, this wonderful knowing that more and more of us are highly awakened now. You know, you only have to look around to see that. You know, look on YouTube. There's so many people discussing and embracing their spirituality, their sensuality, and their beautiful psychic gifts, and sharing it with the world. And that brings me to another theme that they asked me to share with you, and that is this Lyran Feline gateway, these portals that have been opened and are still opened and will be flowing and flooding in the energies right up until the 2nd of September. So we've had quite a span of these new frequencies flooding in, which is why you're probably finding yourself a little bit unrested. Perhaps the moon energies have been keeping you awake and causing a bit of agitation, and of course that anger we spoke about. But it's very important that you are sharing your specific